They're entertaining. They make people laugh, make people smile. They shake hands. They kiss babies. We get it, right? They're athletic young guys, but they're great former champions.
You and Dolph had a lot of success. We're heading now to WrestleMania. We're 3 SmackDowns away from WrestleMania. The first event with a live audience in over a year, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay. You know, what's the feeling like with you and the rest of the locker room right now, knowing that a live audience is just around the corner? It's within reach right now.
Yeah, it's exciting. It is. It's going to be completely different. You know what I mean? Being in the Thunderdome is very unique, and it is better than nothing. You know what I mean? It's just having people. It's like there's an audience there, but it's obviously it's not, right? And I was taught from early on in this business that you have to feed off the crowd, and the crowd is such an important part of what we do as performers. And to think that there's going to be 45,000 people in the stadium and only a couple of weeks away after going almost it has been a year with no live crowd. It's going to be insane, and for the biggest show of the year, and for me especially. I mean, I like talking about the pandemic. I wasn't at WrestleMania last year. I missed it completely. So I'm doubly excited about this year's WrestleMania.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see the crowd. I'm hoping to be there, but I can't wait to see the crowd. This is, I think, going to be one of the most unpredictable crowds in the history of professional wrestling, just because I think they're going to want to cheer everybody because they're just so happy to be there. But you got to get that heat if you're a bad guy. So is that going to be a little bit more difficult this year?
It won't be difficult for me and Dolph. I guarantee you that.
All right. So speaking of WrestleMania, tag team division right now on SmackDown is heating up. You guys got three teams that are breathing down your necks at the moment. Yeah. Who do you want to face at WrestleMania this year? Presumably with the SmackDown tag titles on the line.
It's one of those things where, I mean, we've been scouting. Obviously, we've been at SmackDown every week. We've kind of seen what's been transpiring between the three teams, and last week was another example. We sat at ringside and we obviously know about the Street Profits. And look, we don't hate the Street Profits. We think the Street Profits are a great team. They're very entertaining. We get it. They're everything that the WWE wants out of their guys. They're entertaining. They make people laugh, make people smile. They shake hands. They kiss babies. We get it, right? They're athletic young guys, but they're great former champions. They had a great run. They did. Almost a year they had the titles for. But let's face it, they came over to SmackDown and they were handed the championships. Like, I don't ever remember another time where a team was just handed a championship and all of a sudden they become champions. So,
right.
Being the Dirty Dawgs, we did what we had to do, and we went out and we defeated the Street Profits, and now we're the tag team champions. But with that being said, do they deserve a rematch? Maybe. Have they proven themselves against other teams? Not really. They lost last week to the Mysterios.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Mysterios, I mean, they're that father-son duo. They're kind of unpredictable. I don't know much about Dominik. I mean, he's kind of fresh and new, and obviously, I know Ray quite well, and I mean, they're a great tag team. And then, of course, I know Chad Gable very well. Chad and I were Raw tag team champions together, and Dolph knows Otis very, very well. If you date back to last year's WrestleMania, so there's a lot of things that Dolph and I have to talk about, and whether or not we get to decide who we face at WrestleMania is another question, but I don't know. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we're going to walk into Raymond James Stadium. We're going to defend the championships, and we're going to walk out of Raymond James Stadium with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Bottom line, it doesn't matter who it is. Any one of those tag teams could be another tag team. Who knows? Anybody who wants to get in the ring with Dolph and I can take their chance. But at the end of the day, the Dirty Dawgs are walking out with tag team gold.
I'm glad you brought up Dominik Mysterio, because I did want to ask you about him. He's a very young guy, 23 years old. literally growing up on live TV every week in and week out, because it's kind of the only option at this point. You know, you were in the ring with him just a few weeks back. You know, what are your thoughts on him and how he's been coming along?
He's coming along great as far as I can see. You know, obviously the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. His dad is an amazing competitor, and you know, Dominik has got a lot of his traits, and I think one of those traits is his work ethic. So being so young and honestly being so comfortable in the ring at this point. And like you said, the schedule is not like it used to be. We're not like we're doing non-televised events to get better 3 days a week leading into our TV shows. It's just, you know, he's obviously doing a lot outside of the SmackDown shows. He's working hard. He's studying tape. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing, but I know his dad has a big part in that. And being so young, I think the sky is the limit for this kid.
There was one thing I wanted to ask you, and I got to admit something here, because as long as I've been a wrestling fan, like traveling and getting to go to pay-per-view events has very rarely been an option for me. And one of the very first pay-per-views that I got to go to was Fastlane in 2018 in Columbus. That's about a 90-minute drive for me. And that show stands out to me still to this day for a couple of reasons. And one is your match with Randy Orton for the United States Championship. I mean, frankly, I was stunned at the result. It seemed like you had the belt for a few weeks there at least, and then they made the decision to switch. You know, yeah, how disappointed were you? You didn't get to have a little bit of a longer run there with the United States title.
To be honest, I mean, obviously you want to be a champion. That's what we get in this business for, is to be a champion. And the United States Championship had a lot of history behind it, so it was an honor to win that and to hold that for any period of time, to be honest. But losing to Randy Orton isn't a bad thing. I was more excited about being in the ring with Randy, and I was just telling somebody else that, you know, that was one of my favorite matches thus far in my career. Was with Randy at that pay-per-view. You know, Randy is one of those guys that, in my opinion, bell to bell, there's nobody better. In our era, my era that I've seen and I've been in the ring with, there's absolutely nobody better. And we had some great chemistry. And, you know, he worked his style, I worked my style, and you know, we just kind of meshed. And I thought we told a great story. I thought we gave him a great U.S. title match that night, and something that I'm very proud of. And, you know, who knows? You get another shot at that U.S. championship down the line. Who's to say? But, I mean, just being in the ring and being on pay-per-view and having a chance to be in the ring with the best of the best, in my opinion, was just icing on the cake for me.
Yeah, and that was the night he became a Grand Slam champion, if I'm not mistaken. That was the last title that,
so, yeah.
You know, yeah, so that was a big match for him, I have to believe as well. Robert, it has been an absolute pleasure to talk with you. I know I'm running out of time here. Just kind of briefly, what can we expect on SmackDown tonight?
Well, you never know what's going to happen on SmackDown, especially when the Dirty Dawgs are in the building. Who knows? I mean, I think we're going to, like you said, we're getting so close to WrestleMania. I know I want to know who we're defending the titles against. And I know Dolph wants to know. So hoping that we get an answer. I don't know if we got to go talk to Pierce or who it is that we have to speak to now. But, you know, there's these three teams that are coming and breathing down our neck every single week. And the Prophets have been running their mouths and whining and crying to Sonya Deville about wanting to get a rematch. Well, we'll see about that.
Great stuff, sir. Take care moving forward, and good luck.
Thank you very much.